Hey guys, Skylistar here, and today we're going to be driving this 2019 Bruckell Bastion 5.7 Sport. Now this is Bruckell's, like, I don't want to say like a base model V8 option, but it's their lower V8 option. This is $41,900 is tested. It's pretty relatively cheap for a V8 sports sedan. It's got, of course, the 5.7 liter naturally aspirated V8, which is not the same from when I reviewed the Battlehawk a while ago. That has a 6.5 liter supercharged. So this engine is smaller and it's naturally aspirated. And now this makes 369 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. And this comes from, this one in particular has the really nice 6-speed manual in it, whereas the oh, did I? Yeah, I did do a review. It was the manual option, and of course rear-wheel drive. And this one's factory limited to about 140 miles per hour, but you can change that obviously. And this is based off obviously the Dodge Charger RT, not the Scat Pack RT, because of the power and the engine. And this is finished in a very nice deep plum. I kind of like it. It's like a it's got such a, it's reddish, but it's got like such a subtle purple to it. It just looks really nice and dark. And I want to explain the power about this. This obviously, for a V8, this has obviously got low power. Like, if you compare like in real life the Charger RT has 370 horsepower, just like this. But it like compares to, not a very many V8 cars are on the market anymore. This is probably the weakest, if anything, because besides maybe the Chrysler 300, because the Chrysler 300 obviously is not a sports car. That shares the same engine, 5.7 V8, but that's a luxury car. That's different from this, which is obviously made for sport. It's a muscle car. Chrysler 300 is a muscle car, of course, if you want to call it that, but it's focused on luxury more than sport. And now, obviously, since this is the 5.7 Sport, obviously in BeamNG there's the 6.5 Sport, which is basically the RT Scat Pack SRT 392. The one that everyone craves for, because no one really goes to an RT, really. Like, I'm not gonna, like, let's be real, like, everyone's gonna go for a Scat Pack or something like that, or in game a 6.5 Sport, just because it's got the power that everyone craves. 480 horsepower. That's pretty standard for a pretty mid-level muscle car, whereas this is like on the lower end. This is not base model, obviously. It goes lower than this. There is the SE, which has a 3.5 liter V6, and then of course there's the police packages, which has the same V8, 5.7, and then there's still the all-wheel drive version, and then there's the Lux 5.7, which is exactly the same as this, but it's the luxury version. I call it, basically, it's like the Chrysler 300, more or less. And now after talking about the engine, let's go to styling. This has obviously less of a body kit than the Battlehawk, and also the 6.5 Sport, which I'll be reviewing at some point. It's a bit more subtle. This has these pretty thick, like, massive 5-spoke wheels. They look nice on the car, but compared to like the chrome wheels that were on the Battlehawk, these don't look nearly as good as those. Yeah, side skirt, and back here is the trunk, that fully functioning trunk, just like on the Battlehawk. It's 5.7 Sport written right there. It's got a little kind of ducktail black spoiler. It looks really nice. I do really like that look of that spoiler right here. Dual exhaust tips, those look pretty nice. And fully functioning back seat. And this also has that kind of weird, I don't want to say butterfly door, but that kind of like upward door effect. I talked about that in the Battlehawk video. It's got a red interior, which is actually, I believe, a factory option on the 5.7 Sport. I'm not sure about how I look into the BeamNG lore, but that seems like that would be a pretty interesting factory feature. And let's climb inside real quick. And now this has a very similar interior to the Battlehawk. They're really relatively the same. Maybe some different seat options and all that stuff. Different gauges is mainly what sets them apart the most, is the gauges. The 5.7 Sport has these black and red gauges, whereas the 6.5 Sport has white and red gauges. The Battlehawk has yellow and red gauges, And the Battlehawk Red Tail has red on red gauges. So you can easily tell the difference. That's really the only main difference. Also, the interior trim, slightly different color, and all that. Well, I think that's pretty much it for styling and the outside, because there isn't really in BeamNG. I can't really like play with any of the all the modules and all stuff. The only thing that I like to critique, I just find really kind of annoying about these cars, they're not touchscreen. There's a screen right here. If I turn the battery on, there's a screen right there, but it's not touchscreen. As you can see, we got a joystick there and like a scroll up and down. So it's not even a touchscreen, which I find really weird. But enough of picking at this car. Let's get in and drive it, because maybe it's more powerful than just looking at the numbers. Maybe it's like it just has a better feel and weight to it. So anyway, let's get into the driving. So that concludes my driving POV test drive of the 2019 Bruckell Bastion 5.7 Sport. First of all, I am blown away at the performance at this. 370 horsepower. I was going into it like thinking, it's not gonna be too exciting. You'll have a little pep to it, but it won't be like over the top crazy. But it holds up very well. It's just like a lot of those V8 cars are like, they're not very powerful, but they just feel good. Like they don't feel too crazy over the top like the Hellcat in real life and all that stuff. It's just like, oh, it's so crazy and burnouts and all that stuff. But this is just like a perfect little V8 cruiser if you don't really want something too over the top, too over the top in maintenance to break the bank and all that stuff like that. You just want a nice V8 car that's just it's just nice to drive. It's not over the top and crazy. So honestly, I thought that I'd be kind of disappointed with it, but no, it's very, very like perfect mid-level. I think when I review the 6.5 Sport, that's gonna be like right perfect. But this is like, it's not like my favorite, but it's still like a nice like alternative if you don't want just like a normal like 4-cylinder car or anything like that. So yeah, I just give this car a solid 7 out of 10. 7.5 maybe, maybe 7.4, something like that. But now since this is a V8 car and it's sport, we might as well do some burnouts and donuts, right? Well, that's gonna be the end of that. Let's get right into it and end the episode. Alright, well that was my review of the 2019 Bruckell Bastion 5.7 Sport. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and goodbye.